Hello, my name is Kate, and about a year ago I made a significant progress in actually using English. Even though I started learning it as a foreign language in elementary school, many of us can relate to studying the language for years, yet still not feeling confident enough to call ourselves fluent, not just in front of job interview year. Even after moving to an English-speaking country, I realized that being surrounded by the language wasn't enough. It gives you a privilege to be more motivated and gives you more opportunities to practice, but you don't become fluent just because of exposure. Think of how many people live in places like New York for decades and still struggle with English. So the strategies and tools I'll be sharing with you can help you whether you're living in an English-speaking country or not. I remember a friend of mine who worked as a private English teacher once told me that many teachers ask their students about their purpose for learning the language. It helps them tailor the lessons to the students' needs, but more importantly, it reveals how committed the student will be and whether they'll make progress. I couldn't agree more. Simply saying, I want to improve my English isn't enough. It's too vague and lacks direction. Without a clear goal, you're likely to lose interest and not put in the necessary effort. To stay consistent, you need to understand why you're learning the language. Look at students who work hard because they know good grades might lead to scholarships. It's a concrete reason to put in the effort. You need something similar for yourself. Take some time to think about what learning English can bring to you, like landing better jobs, access to world-class education. Plus, studies show it improves your brain health. I'm like a dog. I understand everything, but I cannot speak. This is a very famous saying in my home country, used to describe understanding the language, but struggling to speak it. And this happens when we neglect practicing active skills like speaking and writing, and putting too much effort on practicing passive ones. The thing is, active skills require more processing and effort. When you read or listen, you input already pre-made information. But when you speak or write, you output this information using words and grammar you already know by creating sentences from your own thoughts. We all know this classical advice that you should pick reading and listening materials based on your interests, things you'd love to explore regardless of the language. This way, you'll be more motivated to work through them. And after this input, it's really crucial to have an output. And I think the best way to do so is by briefly explaining what you've read or watched to somebody. It can be your friend, it can be your diary, or even yourself. And by the way, if you're looking for a language exchange partner, there are plenty of online resources, and I left a Reddit post in the comments where it is explained how to find one. As with your preferred materials for input, you can use any activity you like for output. It can be starting a diary where you express your feelings, or starting your personal blog, or you can engage in any activity that requires writing, speaking, and that you enjoy. Personally, for me, this blog is really useful because I really love doing it, and at the same time, I improve my English. So if you can find something you really enjoy and at the same time you improve your English, it would be really great because you can gain a lot from it. It's easier to stay consistent. Of course, when learning a new language, expanding vocabulary is essential. And from my humble opinion, I found the best technique. I write down new words on sticky notes and place them in spots where my eyes naturally go often. Because I see these spots so often, I learn the words passively. But what makes this technique really work is combining passive learning with active practice. Take some time each day to create sentences using these words. You can ask ChatGPT to check for mistakes and explain them. I do this often. And just so you know, ChatGPT is one of the most patient teachers you can ever meet in your life. So don't hesitate to use it. Our brain loves logical connections, associations when it comes to memorizing things. That's why they are so useful tools in learning. For example, when I first came across the phrase upset stomach, I found it so cute, so I memorized it instantly. I mean, it's like saying your stomach is sad because you ate something bad. After that, I really avoided eating too much unhealthy food because I don't want this guy to be upset. So the thing is, if you're struggling to memorize certain words or phrases, try to find something special about them. This will help them stick in your mind. By the way, a lot of what I mentioned here can be applied not just to language learning, but to learning in general. Concepts like input-based education, output-based education, passive and active recall, consistency, and associations are really useful tools in learning. You can apply it to literally any field you'd like to learn. I hope this video helps. See you next time!